welcome to For the Reds. Today's episode, we're talking transfer targets. I'm your host Ryan, and today we're looking at how MOISES CAICEDO fares up against Harvey Elliott and Jordan Henderson on that right hand side. Because let's face it, that is the position he'd be walking into in this team if he was to sign tomorrow. So before we get going, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments who you think should take that right hand side midfield role at Liverpool Football Club. Is Harvey Elliott and Jordan Henderson's time over? Do we need a replacement for Fabinho instead? Or is it a case of these boys need the movement off the 11 and a new one needs to come in? So we're going to have a little look at their stats and how they compared against each other. Now before we get into it, let me just remind you of stats. These are all supplied by whoscored.com, but stats can read different compared to other players, especially when comparing players from different teams. Now, for example, if you were to play for Brighton and I was to play for Chelsea, it's a completely different setup. Requirements of your job and my job are different. Therefore, both of our stats will read different. I don't need to tell you how to suck eggs. We all know that. So, what I tried to do was pick out the 5 most important stats that I believe we need to be looking at as Liverpool Football Club fans when we're remoulding our midfield, but also when we're trying to fix the issues we currently have now. So as you can see here, the 5 basic stats and key stats that I've looked into are interceptions, tackles, blocked crosses, which is an interesting one, passes and key passes. So let me explain why. Interceptions and tackles, it's an obvious one. Liverpool Football Club have had serious issues on the pitch this season when defending anything. Counter-attacks, crosses, shots from distance, shots from close range, Jesus Christ, goalkeeper to striker, you name it, we've struggled with it. But the most telling factor has been how much we've lost our identity in that middle of the pitch. And as much as it is a coaching change, it is also a fact that the personnel that we were doing it so well 4 years ago are now older. And the young personnel that have came in just don't quite look good enough or ready enough to do those jobs required. So let's start the comparing. Let's go off interceptions. Number 1. As you can see there, Jordan Henderson is sitting in it per 90, and this is in their domestic leagues, per 90 average of 0.6 interceptions. Compare that to youngster Harvey Elliott, that is 0.2. Compare that to MOISES CAICEDO of Brighton, and that is 1.4. Now, as you can see, there is a clear upscale in there of MOISES CAICEDO's interception averages compared to Jordan Henderson and Harvey Elliott. MOISES CAICEDO's interception average is actually more than Henderson and Elliott's put together. Now, what's a key telling factor in this is Brighton and Liverpool play similar ways. They are possession-based football teams who hunt and press the ball when surrendering possession. So when we're reading into these stats, we can scale them and change them to what you would see in a Liverpool team because the jobs required aren't too dissimilar. Both Jordan Henderson and Harvey Elliott set an average of 0.8. That's less than a tackle per game. And then again, we flip over to MOISES CAICEDO, and he's averaging 3. This is completed, by the way, 3 completed tackles per game. You throw 3 completed tackles per game into a Liverpool midfield partnered with Fabinho and Thiago right now, and that stops a good chunk of Liverpool's counter-attacking issues. Crosses. Now, I said before, it's an interesting one. Liverpool require their number 8s and their fullbacks to get out to the wide areas and block the crosses coming in. Something that we've just not been good enough at this season, and that responsibility falls on to the wingers as well, coming back and tracking back, the fullbacks not getting tight enough to the play, and the number 8s coming over too slow and too sluggish. Now, as you can see here, 0.1 for both Harvey and Henderson, and MOISES isn't too higher with 0.3, but again, it's a little bit of an improvement. Now, this is one that really caught my eye, which is passes. Now, Liverpool, yes, we do not keep as much possession this season. That is clear. We don't win the ball back often enough to go and then recycle and remain possession of the ball. However, 47.4 passes and 35.1 passes per 90 feels really low for a right-handed side Liverpool midfield. Let's remember our number 8s come and drop in between centre-halves and full-back to receive the ball. So they're getting plenty of touches and plenty of times to pass and move that ball. Harvey Elliott maybe a little less, as his responsibility is a little bit more in between the lines, but Jordan Henderson's passes there for me should be a lot higher. Moises on the other hand close to the 60 mark. Again, a team similar. They like to keep possession. Possession stats are very similar. So not is he only a destroyer and a winner of the ball and a box-to-box nuisance, he's also a player who can recycle and keep possession. If you saw the game against Everton the other day, he makes a key assist for the first goal against the Toffees with a switch of play, similar to a Jordan Henderson switch of play, from one side of the pitch to the other, past the full-back, winger goes in, 1-0. And his key passes on that note are also a little bit better than Henderson and Elliott's. Henderson, to be fair, 0.9 key passes isn't bad for the positions he takes up on the pitch. Harvey Elliott's could be a little bit better considering the pockets of space we get him into. But again, Moises Caicedo, bettering them on that stat, bettering them on every stat. I don't want this video to become a hate on Jordan Henderson and Harvey Elliott, because believe me, when you're playing in a faltering team, of course your stats are going to drop. But you can't ignore the stats of Moises Caicedo and how they compare to the players that he'd be coming into this January transfer window. So now we've had a little look at the stats, let's take a few moments to watch a couple of clips of Moises Caicedo and what he'd bring to this Liverpool team. Nice. Great outside of the boot. Again, that'd be one of those passes that leads to a key pass potentially. A little bit of flair there. This video, by the way, guys, is produced by Brazil Scout. Again, as always, no copyright intended, no infringement intended. This is literally just for entertainment purposes. So there you go, on the blind side, hunting the ball back really well. That speed and that aggression to get in there. Lovely clip over the top. That's for play for Ecuador, showing that passing range. Great anticipation there of what the player's going to do. Fantastic ability to win the ball back. Again, the same again. Really good if you've noticed that hook around the player and win the ball, something that we've known Bobby Firmino to be really good at over the years. Thiago's got a good knack for it. There's one of those key passes again, could turn into an assist, not quite. He also, whilst I was doing my sort of research around this player, and as I've watched him in the past, I've always been surprised at how well he is taking the ball in between the half spaces as well. An assist there. Good aggression, good reading the game. Again, look there, in between those half spaces, a little bit of creativity. He isn't just the destroyer of a midfielder, he's a lot more. Now, as you can see there, the stats back up the old 2-eye assessment. A beautiful passing range and a tenacity to get the ball back, mixed with this flexibility and sort of controlled aggression around the midfield to go and win that ball, to hunt that ball, to get that ball. Everything that Liverpool's identity was built on, he embodies it. Now, there has obviously been talk about the price range. 60 to 70 million pounds for a player that's got less than 18 months in the Premier League seems like a mean feat. But looking at the prices of some players are going for nowadays, guys, with a player this high of a ceiling, and also already such a great profile, surely a 70 million pound price tag shouldn't be putting us off. We all know, as articles have come out, we have a pot of money that is waiting just there for Jude Bellingham. Apparently, on Twitter, as I am recording this video, a journalist from Spain has said that Jude Bellingham's next club will be decided within this month. Now, if that is the case, Liverpool will get told early doors this month whether they're that club or not. So if we are not that club, do not be surprised if bids start going on for this lad in the next couple of weeks. Because that pot of money that's been saved for Jude Bellingham just goes. There you go, Brighton. So let me know in the comments, would you be happy if Moises Caicedo signed for Liverpool Football Club tomorrow? I know I would. If I was to rate this player and rate this possible transfer out of 10, I'm slapping a big 9.5 on it. I love him. He'd be exactly what we need right now and also for the future. That reshape, that rebrand, that remoulding of the midfield should be built around players like him. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please give this video a like. I love the support. It helps me, it helps the channel, and somewhere down the line, it helps Liverpool Football Club. And subscribe if you think we're going to get top 4, which means I'm going to get no subscribers. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.